All right, Julius Walker, thank you for joining me here today. 5-0, fighting for the belt. What do you see as maybe the biggest threat coming from your opponent?
Man, my opponent, he's a real tough guy, real veteran of the game, been around for a long time. So chances are, whatever I do, he's probably seen it before. Ideally, I just want to do it better than anything else he's seen. I think he's got a lot of striking talent. That's a big threat, and really just the veteran and the savviness. He's going to be crafty. He's been in there very many times with lots of people. So I think that's probably the biggest threat I'm facing. He's the most experienced guy I've ever faced.
Do you want to share your game plan for the fight?
You know, game plan's definitely to win. Other than that, you know, it's make it my fight. Try to make us fight at my pace rather than his pace. Fight in places that I like to fight in. That would be the biggest thing for me. I'd say the biggest aspect of my game plan would probably be around the pacing. Myron kind of has a pace he likes to fight at from the tape that I've seen of him, and I think that if I can force him to fight at maybe a little bit of a faster pace, maybe a little bit of a different pace than what he's used to, it can open up some advantages for me.
You're trying to make him react more. You're going to be throwing feints. You're going to be pressuring him a little bit more. What are some of the places that you like to fight?
Man, I'd say I always feel comfortable on the cage, whether my back's against the cage or I've got my opponent's back pressed against the cage. I got a lot of tricks there. Obviously, I feel really comfortable on the ground. I would say if somebody had to define me into one style, I feel like I'm a pretty rounded martial artist. But if you were to define a style for me, it would probably be a grappler. So you know that's definitely where I feel most comfortable. But I think with a guy like Myron, it's something you can't force. You can't force the grappling. You kind of have to take the opportunities as they come. So that's kind of the mindset I'm approaching it with.
Okay, I like that. Going with the flow, but looking for your spots, picking your battles. If you had to call a finish for this fight, what would it be?
Man, I would probably say a ground and pound finish. That's the majority of my finishes in my whole career would be ground and pound finishes. And then obviously if the neck is there, I'm definitely gonna try to take that thing.
So I was looking. It looks like you've had 15 fights in the past 4 years. Does that ever wear you out, being so active?
Definitely, after a while. I think right now, though, you know, with my last fight, I didn't take any damage. I was blessed enough to get through that whole fight camp with no real injuries. I'd say most of the time, whenever you see fighters stepping in the cage, something's happened at some point in the camp that is wearing on them a little bit. But I've been really lucky my last few camps. Haven't had anything crazy come up. You know, it can definitely wear on you after a while. After this fight, I'm probably going to, you know, sit down and reassess a bit. I fought 3 weeks ago, and we're fighting again now. So this is my 4th fight this year. That was a goal going into the year, was to try to get 3 or 4 fights in this year. And I'm really excited about that.
But yeah, you're really excited. You're aiming to get 4 fights this year. You didn't take any damage your last one. This is your 4th. And so after this, the plan is to grab the belt and reset a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. Obviously, I'm going to keep training. I don't want to start to get out of shape or anything. I know that this is a fight where if I'm able to win this fight, it could present some big opportunities for me. You know, the last 2 fights I've had, I've came out with finishes over Ultimate Fighter veteran and then a UFC veteran back-to-back. And you've got a guy like Myron, who's an Ultimate Fighter veteran, Glory kickboxing veteran, huge pedigree, been around for a long time, done a lot on the scene. So I know a big victory here is another thing that could kind of lead to some opportunities for me. So I got to stay ready for all of that. But I think my wife would definitely be happy with me maybe relaxing for a little bit.
Yeah, it would be nice. Enjoy the holidays.
Yeah.
I see you've got the Christmas socks. You're in the spirit. I know that you're from Missouri. Are you still training there now?
Yep, out of Springfield, Missouri, Team Fusion. You know, been there for my entire career, and I'll be there for the rest of my career.
That's awesome. I was looking up Team Fusion. You have a lot of fighters, pro and amateur, on that team. Do you feel any sort of pressure as the only undefeated pro out of that gym?
Not necessarily. One thing that is nice is I lost a few fights in my amateur career. So although now I get to get called undefeated again, in reality I'm not. You know, three dudes have beat me. So I don't really feel like I feel that pressure of like, oh man, I'm undefeated. If I lose, it'll be my first loss. It's like I've lost before. And, you know, loss is really a part of life. It's pretty essential to the growth process. Obviously, I never, you know, every fight I'm coming to win, never coming to lose, never making contingency plans for if I lose and whatnot. But I'm prepared for whatever. I feel like my preparation was right. You know what I mean? I did everything that I could do to win this fight, and something I'm big on is just controlling the things that you can control. Obviously can't control the result, but I can control the process and the preparation. So I took that, and that was kind of what I focused on.
That's awesome. Do you have a favorite part of your training camp?
My favorite part of training camp, obviously other than when the camp is over and I'm eating everything under the sun, that would be my favorite part, but that's not really training camp. So I'd say probably my favorite part of training would be either running. I actually really enjoy running. I love like that kind of that, I don't want to say runner's high because it's too cliche, but that's really what it is. Like as I start to get in better shape and I can feel myself like, man, today I'm killing it. Like I'm running faster. I'm going to break my 3-mile record. I'm going to break my 6-mile record. So I'd say that's probably my favorite part of camp, other than maybe one of those sparring days where I show up to the gym and I just feel in the zone.
Nothing beats a good sparring day.
Man.
Is there anything you want to say to the boys back home?
Man, huge thanks for everyone for supporting me. Obviously, like, this is one of those things where we're a team and I can't do this by myself. A lot of the guys on the team have sacrificed a lot to get me ready for my fights, and I hope that over the next few weeks I can maybe give some of that back to them. I've been fighting pretty constantly for the last year and a half, almost nonstop, and all the guys at the gym, every time I need partners, guys will show up. You know what I mean? Even if it's not scheduled class times, something that really means a lot to me. So hopefully I can kind of start giving back to them a little bit and helping them prepare for their fights, kind of go back into student mode rather than fight preparation mode. I think that'll be good for me. I feel like there's parts of my game that I know there's parts of my game that I can develop more. And the goal is to kind of start focusing on that a little bit, start developing myself as a fighter a little bit more.
I hear you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Walker. I appreciate it.
Appreciate you.